Imagine summer without air conditioning, no fans blasting, no cool air to escape to. For most of human history, people had no choice but to endure sweltering heat. Yet, they didn't just suffer, they adapted, inventing clever ways to stay cool that might surprise you. Welcome to Deca Facts. Today we're counting down 10 ingenious ways people survived extreme heat before air conditioning existed. And if you think you'd never make it without your AC, stick around. Some of these methods are still useful today. 10. Thick walls and high ceilings. In the ancient world, especially in places like Rome and the Middle East, homes were built with extra thick stone or adobe walls. These absorbed the sun's heat during the day and released it slowly at night, keeping the inside cooler. High ceilings also allowed hot air to rise above the living space, making the lower area much more tolerable. This design is still echoed in older southern mansions across the US. 9. Sleeping outdoors. Before air-conditioned bedrooms, people often took their beds outside. Families in ancient Mesopotamia would sleep on rooftops to catch breezes at night. Even in early America, porches and screened-in sleeping areas were common, proving that sometimes the simplest solution is just getting closer to fresh night air. 8. Wet cloth and evaporative cooling. Evaporative cooling, what we know today as swamp coolers, has ancient roots. In Egypt, people would hang wet cloths over doorways or windows. As air passed through, it cooled down. In India, woven grass mats were soaked with water and placed in windows, turning hot winds into a refreshing breeze. It wasn't air conditioning, but it worked surprisingly well. 7. Underground homes and storage. Some of the hottest regions in the world solved heat with one move: going underground. In places like Cappadocia in Turkey, entire underground cities stayed naturally cool year-round. Even in America, root cellars doubled as cool resting places during heat waves. Earth naturally insulates, and people knew how to use it. 6. Shade structures and courtyards. In hot climates, shade was everything. Ancient Persians perfected the use of courtyards, gardens, and shaded arcades to keep air moving and cooler. Spanish colonial houses in the Americas often had central courtyards with fountains, turning blazing sun into a cooler, livable microclimate. 5. Clothing designed for heat. Before shorts and t-shirts, people dressed strategically. Loose, light-colored garments, like tunics, robes, and linens, were common in desert societies because they reflected sunlight and trapped cooler air around the skin. It might look heavy to us today, but that clothing was engineered for survival. 4. Fans and manual airflow. From palm leaves to ornate hand fans in Victorian parlors, people have always understood the power of moving air. In 8th century China, inventors even built early rotary fans powered by water wheels. And let's not forget the servants or family members who had the unenviable job of fanning others during brutal summers. 3. Ice harvesting. Believe it or not, before refrigeration, blocks of ice were cut from frozen lakes in winter and stored in underground ice houses. Even in the 1800s, wealthy families in cities like New York and Boston could cool drinks or rooms using ice harvested months earlier. It wasn't accessible to everyone, but it was one of the earliest luxury coolers. 2. Water features and wind towers. In the Middle East, wind catchers, tall towers designed to funnel breezes into homes, were engineering marvels. When combined with fountains or pools, the cooled air circulated naturally. These passive cooling systems worked so well that they inspired modern eco-friendly architecture. 1. Siestas and changing schedules. And finally, perhaps the most effective adaptation, changing human behavior. In Mediterranean countries, the tradition of the siesta wasn't laziness, it was survival. People rested during the hottest part of the day and worked in the cooler mornings and evenings. By aligning life with nature's rhythms, they avoided the worst of the heat without needing machines at all. So the next time you crank up the AC, remember, people before us had no choice but to innovate, endure, and thrive under the same sun. Which of these methods do you think you could handle today? Sleeping on a roof? Wearing heavy robes? Or maybe living underground? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Deca Facts for more history and survival stories that just might change how you see the modern world. See you in the next countdown.